Hey guys, back again with another video, this time again on the BMW. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to install, this is a Dashcam, a BlackVue DR900X-2 channel, and this is the rear camera right here. I've already mounted the front camera. Just show you what that looks like from the driver's view. So you can see from the driver's angle, you can just see the bottom of it right here. But there's the camera. Let's see if I can get it to focus there. There we go. So there's the camera mounted, and I've got the wires run. I'll show you what I've done there. But basically, what I'm doing is I am running along the roof. Now, what I did was I don't want to run this in front of the side curtain airbag. I want it to be behind that. In the event of any accident, I don't want this to interfere with the function of the airbag. So behind that little panel right there, there's a single screw. It's a T25, I think. It's either a T25 or T27. You remove that, pop off the panel, pull out the one screw. There's two pop retainers, and so you just pop it out, and then you lift up, pull that out, and you'll see the airbag there. All of the mechanics of the airbag, I can't remember if they're in the middle or in the rear in the BMW, but there's no explosive up on this side of it. And so what I did is I ran the wire behind the airbag and then pulled it behind the weather stripping, in between the weather stripping and the door. And I can show you right here on the rear door. I'm almost done with this one. A little tight. But basically, what I'm doing is I'm pulling back up here so I can get the wire up in here. Again, the airbag is right here, so we're up against the body. And then I'll pop this off, pull out the screw just so I can get the wire back here, and run the wire back again along the back here. And then in the F15, we have the fuse box is back here. So here's our fuse panel. So we have really good access to it, which is nice. But what I'll do is I'll run the wire from here down. I'll get all my electric connection right here. This model does have parking mode on it, so it does have accessory as well as constant battery, and of course the ground connection. So that'll run down here, and then for the rear camera, it'll run up through this conduit into here, and I'll mount the rear camera right about here. And here's just show you the wire for that. So here's the wire for the rear camera. So that will just come out here and connect into the camera. Now, what I've done to prep the wires, really this is kind of my personal preference, just to make it look nice and professional as much as I can, is up here I've run the wire to the back as well as the wire to, if I make it focus. So you can see I've got the two wires here, and I go into the wire loom. This is just collapsible. I'll put a link in the description below for this, but I've just got that on there. Make it look nice and professional. And you can see it comes down here, and then it terminates at this point, and this is where I'll have the power and then the coax split off. And then again, when it comes out up here for the rear camera, again, I want that to look nice. So just put a little bit of the extra that I had from when I cut it on that end, and we'll get everything wired up. So I've used BlackVue before. On the Ford truck that I had, I used the BlackVue. It was an earlier model, the DR900. I used that. Fortunately, never got in an accident. Didn't have to use it, but just kind of peace of mind to have this. And this one, I can't remember if I said, bought this refurbished off eBay, refurbished from an authorized seller. So it does come with a 12-month warranty, and it does have Wi-Fi. It's 4K in the front and full HD in the rear. So you get really, really clear picture. They have a really nice application, which I'll show you later on once I get everything in there. Hey guys, all right, I'll give you a view before I close up here of parts of the rear hatch. Just the panels popped off. These panels are, for the most part, these are just held in with, or not for the most part, they're just held in with either metal clips, that's the side panel here, or the center panel, sorry for the up and down, the center panel, these are using these plastic clips. So you might pop a couple of those off, and you can see, you know, I just slide them right over, and then they'll go back in. And then I've just run my wire along through here, a couple of zip ties just to hold it in place. And then I've got the camera mounted, and then go down through here, pop this off and run the wire through. Not too bad pulling it through. There was plenty of room to get that through there, and then comes out back here. And then I'll run this down here, and I'll put a couple of zip ties in here just to hold it steady. And then we've got plenty of room, or plenty of length still to get the power connected over here. One thing I will note is in this particular vehicle, just because of the length of it, I did not need the extension harness. They do sell Black Box, or Black Box My Car is one of the big vendors for BlackVue. BlackVue does sell an extended harness. You don't need it for this vehicle. You might need it for something maybe like a Suburban perhaps, but it depends on where your fuse panel is. In this case, the fuse panel's in the rear. I have plenty of room. In fact, I'm going to have probably about a foot or so to spare if I really needed it. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Everything is looking good. I'm going to get the tailgate buttoned up here, and we'll get everything put back together and get the wiring done. Hey guys, one little tip here on this flexible conduit. On each side of this, there is a plastic retainer. If you take the plastic retainer, just use a little small screwdriver, just like this. Just go in here and pop this retainer out and then put it back into the boot. And then once you've got it in there and you've confirmed that everywhere around is sealed, you just take it, and that's it. It's in and good and sealed. So we're all set there. All right, everyone, got the wiring done. And what I have done back here is I had a couple of these taps laying around. I have used those to wire up the camera. This side here, this bank is battery on, or sorry, always battery, so always 12 volts. This bank right here, this is accessory. So this only has 12 volts when the key is in the on position, or in this case, the push button. So these two fuses, there's actually a 12 volt tap behind here. I'm not going in with another fuse. I'm actually just using this just to draw power. So there's not a second fuse in here. There's only the fuse that's going to here. And this is actually double fused. This is the fuse that came on the harness, and then this is the one that just happened to be in line here. So I'm just using these as my taps. Very easy to remove. Of course, ground over here. Now I just have to do the configuration on the camera. All right, guys, we're all done with the camera. Got it set up, and you can see. I don't want to focus here, but got everything set up on the back, or sorry, on the front, and on the rear. You can see the light, or the LED that's on there.